What's your shirt say there, buddy?
Shirt says, "Nice people take drugs," and this is
what?
this is not courtesy of, but these are made by 64 Gifts in Vancouver. Little shout out to them. It was not; they did not, mail me this in a complimentary way. They are not sponsoring this episode, but wanted to give a little nod to them because they're making some kind of cool anti-stigma, sort of trying to change some messaging made by healthcare workers to change the messaging and the thinking about drug users in our communities. And at first glance, nice people take drugs may sound like it's condoning drug use, but it's in fact just an understanding that, to me, what it means is that all of these people that we've lost in our province and in our country are nice people and good people, and their goodness is not defined or measured by the fact that they were a drug user or not. So that's what it means to me.
Yeah, that's a great message. What was the company's name again?
64 Gifts.
64 Gifts. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll expect them to be reaching out for a sponsorship.
That's right.
Immediately.
So what are we talking about today, Nathan? And tell us, how have we gotten this far in the podcast without having this particular episode?
I don't know. I guess the last interview we did with Dr. Mandy Manick got us thinking, and we have done more in-depth episodes on the IME process, and we did kind of a chronological thing in the beginning there, just to give people, if anybody needs that kind of information, if you go back to the first, I don't know, I think it's in the first 10 or so episodes that we kind of touched on things that you would come across if you were, if your health authority or employer found out that you're using substances in a way that they thought was harmful, I guess, or
problematic.
Problematic would be a good word. So you can go back and check that out if you want. It gives you a kind of a rundown of how it works, but somehow we missed the monitoring thing. And maybe, I don't know about you, Corey, but for me, I think it's always been something that it's unresolved in my mind. I just there is many things about it, of course, I don't like, but at the same time, by monitoring, I should clarify, most of the time we're talking about urine drug screens. So providing a urine sample. Sometimes these are witnessed, sometimes they are not. And that's a whole different animal there as well. But the reason I'm kind of perplexed there's many reasons I'm perplexed by the practice. But personally, I don't think I couldn't imagine myself making the decision to go back into a pharmacy, especially within the first year after, going through the machine there, without being monitored. I don't think I would have stood much of a chance. I kind of needed it. I felt like I needed it as a backup. But that puts me in a weird position because, on the one hand, I see many, many problems here. So I've been thinking about better ways to do it. And I think after we go through this, maybe we can continue to think about that and reconvene. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on it from a general perspective, Corey?
Well, first of all, you're not alone there. I think there are really big feelings from a lot of people about medical monitoring. People who have been through it often do say, like you just said, Nathan, that they see the good in it, or it benefited them in some way or another. It made them feel safer, gave them a little bit of routine and accountability and stability. But there are so many aspects to the monitoring agreement and to the process of collection and the whole thing that need to be broken down a little bit. And so for me, the same thing. I mean, I didn't go back to work as it was. I was put on a monitoring agreement within the first 2 months of being off work, and was to be monitored until I went back to work, and then for another 3 years after that. And my monitoring agreement ended when I gave up my nursing license by choice and decided I wouldn't be going back. But up until that, I was doing them, checking, signing in every morning to the website to see if I was up for a urine collection. So it did make me feel kind of secure, and it was a routine that I got used to, but there were aspects of it, and we'll get into that didn't sit as well with me. And I have my signed monitoring agreement here, and my signed relapse prevention program plan here. And I know you have some there, so we'll get into some specifics too.